All right, my favorite time of the month, the closeout of my budget. If you don't do this, you've got to do it to make sure you can see all the wins and gains and hard work and where you can refine to make your budget a little better for the next month. Let's get into it. All right, let's get straight into this closeout for the month. Closeouts are definitely my favorite because I'm able to look at a whole picture overview and really see my wins and gains and to see where I can improve. I don't even think just budgeting is as effective as making sure you start and end the month, because this is where I can really reflect and make a better budget every single month, improving all year long. So this is essential. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Laura from Lyman Joy. I'm a wife, a medical coder, and a mom of 6, and I'm on a journey to become debt-free and break generational cycles of debt so the next generation can live and give like they were meant to. So if I interest you, please subscribe to the Lyman Joy community and hit that bell icon so others can find me a little more easily, and you'll be notified every time I upload a video to hopefully motivate you on your budgeting, wealth building, and debt payoff journey. All right, let's get straight into it. So for those of you that are new, I go ahead and budget at the beginning of every single month. And when I do my closeout, I go straight back to that budget that I started with. So in the very beginning of the month, I went ahead and budgeted all my paychecks and the things that I needed to consider, my anniversary, Thanksgiving, and I put some challenges that I wanted to put in, which is no spend month and eat out of my pantry. So that's kind of how I started my month. I planned it all out. I do all of my bills first, and then I also plan everything that I'm going to spend on my debt snowball, on my cash envelopes, my sinking funds, and savings challenges, making sure that I have enough money for everything. But of course, starting with the electricity, eating, everything. I actually even put my groceries and my gasoline in my bills. That way, all the essentials are taken care of before I do anything else. And then what is the most important to me is definitely my debt snowball to get myself out of that debt. Or if maybe you're in the wealth building journey, maybe that's where your investments go. Then I do cash envelopes and sinking funds and so forth, saving challenges. Okay. So on my closeout, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But this time I'm going to be reflecting on what I actually spent and did I meet my goals? Did I exceed my goals and where I can improve? So let's go ahead and start with my going back to my monthly budget and putting the actual numbers that I spent right here. Okay, so let's see here. What I actually made was a little bit more than I projected. And this was because just my paychecks were, $100 here more or $50 here more. And so it kind of added up a little bit. So my actual amount that I made in the month of November was $11,695. And I just want to, like I always do, say, no matter what this number is, it doesn't matter. I have done my budget with $1,500. I have done my budget with $4,000. And now after 20 years of very, very hard work, my husband and I are finally at this point. But I want to just really make the point that no matter what that number is, budgeting works, closeouts work. That's why I am where I am, is because of this process, because I finally laid it out and was able to see where my wins and gains and improvements could be and define where my why is and why I'm doing this. And I'm doing this because I want to be debt free and really break the chains for my children. And so my grandchildren don't have to live in the debt that maybe our society has taught us to live in. Okay. So just want to say, no matter what that is, just budget. I'm telling you, it works. Trust the process, plug the numbers in. Okay, so my tithing, I actually did do exactly what I had projected. My groceries now, if you remember, I was on a no spend month and it was Thanksgiving. This was quite ambitious. After going through it, there was definitely highs and lows. I wanted to go and spend money all the time because it was Thanksgiving, but I held out, and I'm going to show you really quick here. I do weekly check-ins while on top of my other ones, just like a real quick, like, hey, for the very first week of November, how much did I spend in groceries, gasoline, extra, because I was on a no spend month. And I was doing really good. And so I had a little bit high here. So I kind of cut back and looked in the pantry and tried to pull as much as I could together for Thanksgiving. And I actually made my projected what I wanted to make, which was 500, and I came in just a few dollars below at 493, which I think is absolutely amazing for the large family that I have. So 493, which puts me just a little bit over. Let's see here. It puts me over what? I have an extra, so I was under, so I'm gonna put the difference. I was under, but it's green because it's positive, under $7. All right, so I have an extra $7 to work with at the end. And then my gasoline, okay, so my gasoline I actually was under because my husband was home and he didn't have to travel to work. He works about 45 minutes away. So we saved, it was 558. So 558, and we were under, okay, difference was under 192. So I have 192 extra there, and I had 7 extra there. You'll see at the end where I applied all this extra money as I went, okay? Next, we just quickly, yep, it was the same for my mortgage, what stayed the same. Dyslexia school for my eldest son stayed the same. My donations were the same. Cable actually came in a little bit under at 104. So again, I had an extra, let's see here. I was under about $26, okay? Then my subscriptions, it was 80, and my rugby was 100 for the kids, 250 for my electric bill. For those of you that are new here, any credit card that I have paid off, I don't simply just cut it up, though I probably will eventually just stick with 2, but because I had many to start with on this debt journey and I didn't want it to hurt my credit originally, I went ahead and like my cap one, I have one and my husband has one. So the one that we paid off, I went ahead and put my electric bill gets paid on, I think the first and the second, auto pay to that Capital One credit card. And then a week later, auto bill pay through my bank pays $250. So I never accrue any interest, but I keep that line of credit open, okay? And everybody has their opinion on that. Dave Ramsey would say, cut that up. And if you struggle with getting back into debt, cut it up, okay? But I do this and I leave it in my safe and I have no access to it, or the number's not saved on my Amazon account. Like, it's not saved on anything. I don't know it. It's there just as backup, okay? My phone bill, it was indeed $267. Our student loan, $500, $313 for my car payment. My other credit card, we paid the $200. This is the current debt snowball I'm working on, but I still include my $200 minimum payment, and I'll show you how much on the debt snowball I did. My city card, or my car insurance, this is one of the ones I've paid off, and my car insurance is paid by it, and then it auto pays, is set at $320. Home Depot is $100. My Kohl's is $125. And then I have solar and a car wash subscription. Gab Kids Phone. Look at during this Christmas season, I know they're having a huge sale. I cannot emphasize enough how amazing this Gab Kids Phone is. And it just resonated with me, like, the internet is just out of control for kiddos. This is an internet-free phone. It looks just like my smartphone, but there's no internet. So my 14-year-old who goes, to school, he doesn't feel any bit different than anybody else. We just don't do the internet like that for kids. I think the access is just absolutely terrifying and distracting for young people. So anyway, look into the Gab Kid Phone. They have great deals going on. They even have a smartwatch, and that they can like talk and text on, and you can talk and text on them. And I think it's actually even a camera in there as well. Check it out. Okay, pest control is $40. My easy loans $115. Sally Mae, which is to split college for my daughter. And then Amazon, my water and trash, my Citizen Pay, which is my alarm company, it's $104, and then my gardener at $120. Okay, I'm gonna quickly add this up for you, and then we will go from here, and I'll show you what I do with all of my actual numbers. All right, 9,107. So our total actual expenses was 9,107. Okay, now I'm going to put what my actual amount for that I made. And then let's go ahead and figure out that 11,695 minus 9,107 is leaving me, I have a leftover of 2588. Okay. So now that I have a leftover of 2588, I am going to my closeout. So again, monthly budget I did in the beginning, my actual numbers. This is how much I actually had left over because I had over budgeted and I saved money. I use Fetch and Ibotta to save money on groceries, or do a no spend month, or eat out of your pantry. We usually have things that we can save money for. We just don't want to eat it, but we have options most of the time. So utilize those kind of things. Okay, so that amount, that 2588, I'm going to put right here as my leftover. I like this so I don't have to keep switching back and forth. All right, so my debt snowball, how I got these numbers right here are simply from my paycheck to paycheck breakdown. So as you guys, if you've been around a while, you have seen me do my cash stuffings. I have 5 paychecks. And I do 3 cash stuffings, so I combo 2 paychecks twice. So this is my first one, and I go ahead and I budget it all out, and I pay what I have allotted through my monthly budget, and then anything extra goes to savings challenges and my debt snowball. And then my second and third one, same thing. And then my fourth and fifth one, same thing. These numbers I simply just transferred over so we could have a full overview of how did I do. So paycheck number 1, I was able to snowball $1,118. 2 and 3 was $444, and paycheck 4 and 5, I did $236. So anything that was a little bit extra than what I had budgeted, I threw at here. I did throw a tiny bit to my savings challenges, but as you can see, most of it went here. Now, I had allotted on my monthly budget, I can show you all right here, $1,200. That's what my debt snowball is right now. And I want you to know, start off where you start off. I started off at like, I think $40 is my debt snowball. And now I was at $1,200. And then this month I was actually able to do $1,798. So let's see how did I do? $1,798 minus 12. I was able to pay an extra $500. So it says over or under here. I was at an over of $598. And that was some hard work, let me tell you. I saved money eating out. I saved money from the no spend. That was hard to do, but I was so thankful that I was able to do it. Now, let's do it. Go ahead, though, and take this $2,588 and let's minus the $1,798 that I spent. $1,798. That leaves me $790 that I had left after my debt snowball that I paid. Now the over and under, that's just for me to see the victories. It's not going to help with the calculation here. It's just, I like to see like if I'm over and under in these spots and where there's some improvement I need to make. Okay, so debt snowball, now $790 left for cash envelopes. And it looks like here I spent $285. And if you look back at how much I had allotted, okay, I allotted $300, but I only spent $285. So I was actually, let's see here, I saved, so I'll put it in green, but I was under $15. In this case, that saving I was able to put towards other things, like I think I added some of that to the debt snowball. Okay, so now that I had 790 actually left, I spent $285 on my cash envelopes. So minus 285 leaves me 505 I had left for my sinking funds. And I spent 210, and I believe that's exactly how much I allotted. Let's see. Yep, $210 is what I had budgeted for. So I just broke completely even there, which is great. Now I'm going to take that 505 and minus the 210 that I actually spent, leaving me $295. And as you can see, I spent every last cent of that. I just put it towards my savings challenges, which in turn helps fully fund my sinking funds, short-term, high priority sinking funds. Because I don't make very much money, I'm always looking for ways to fund those more quickly so that I can move on to my long-term, more low priority sinking funds. Okay, So of course the 295 minus the 295 would be 0. Oh, sorry, would be 0. How much was I over or under? Let's see here. I had wanted 153. So I actually had, let's see, 295 minus 153. I had extra 142. $142 I was over there. So I am loving that. All green, all good. I wasn't underfunded in any area. If I was underfunded, I would use red and I would make that nice and bright so that I can reassess for next time. Let me give you a little bit of example. Okay. So last month I was short for my cable bill because it went up. So I changed it in red so that when I make my new budget, I can clearly see that. I also was short on my credit card here, so I changed that amount too. And if I'm short ever on my closeout, I don't think I was short on my closeout. Let's see. No, I was over. You would be able to clearly see that very quickly and I'd be able to adjust. Let's make sure though that everything and all the checks and balances work correctly here. So again, my income was, let's see here, 11,695. And my bills were, let me just quickly fill this in for you so you don't have to wait around for me. All right, we got a 0. Okay, so I started with the zero-based budget. I ended with the zero-based budget because anything I had extra, I threw at that debt snowball. And, lastly, I like to look at how I'm doing with my debt snowball, and I already closed it out, but you can see I paid that extra $598, which is absolutely amazing because this is why side hustles are so great. This is why you got to keep going and doing whatever you can. Have those visual reminders up for you. If you haven't watched my video on if you're broke and what to do about it, I will go ahead and link this here because you need to create your why. You're going into 2024 here soon. If you don't have your why posted everywhere to motivate you to get out of debt or to build wealth, now is the time so that you don't have to go and keep on trying to get through, and trugging along and not getting ahead. So watch that video if you don't have your why defined and clearly posted for you for motivation. And if all of this is really overwhelming and you need a basis on where to start, I'm going to go ahead and put in my monthly budget, where to start right here so you can begin your process of budgeting, wealth building, and debt payoff. As always, I want you to find joy in your journey. And of course, I'll see you next time.